Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And some breaking news. Conor Murray, enjoy tonight. Enjoy your time as tour captain because Alun Wyn Jones is coming back. Look, in all seriousness, I think Conor Murray will probably remain the tour captain. But some breaking news out of the British and Irish Lions camp is that Wales captain and veteran and World Rugby ambassador, as far as I'm concerned, Alun Wyn Jones is set to fly to South Africa tomorrow, Thursday, 15th of July, to rejoin the British and Irish Lions squad just 18 days after he dislocated his shoulder against Japan. Superhuman. What a player. What a player. What a man as well. And before we start talking about exactly what it means, please do smash like and on the video and subscribe to the channel. But I mean, what an incredible story. We said at the time that it was so heartbreaking that he was going to be ruled out because, one of the nicest guys in world rugby, the most test player of all time. Both for countries and tests in general. He's got the most caps for a single country. He's got the most test caps ever by a player. And he was set to come down and captain the Lions tour. Maybe we weren't sure if he was going to start or what he was going to be involved in the tests. But he was going to come down and he was going to be the tour captain. It was going to be such a nice sort of way. I was going to say the way to finish his career, but this man just doesn't want to stop. He's already signed an extension until next year with Wales and Ospreys. So he'll be playing in the United Rugby Champion as well. But he will be joining up with the squad on Thursday or Friday, which means that, it looks like that Warren Gatland wants him for the test. And I think that's quite interesting. The fact is that, they were waiting on him on yesterday. You had to go through 2 intensive sessions with Wales and you had to take contact, and then they were going to do an assessment afterwards and see how he is. And obviously it all went well because he is set to fly out to the country tomorrow. Speaking about it, Warren Gatland said that we are delighted to welcome Alun Wyn back. It'll come as no surprise to anyone who knows Alun Wyn that since injuring his shoulder against Japan, he's done everything he can to get himself back. It's remarkable, really, when you consider it's just 18 days since he left us in Edinburgh. He's been training with the Wales squad at the Vale since last week, and yesterday he had a proper hit out. Following assessment from the medical staff this morning, we were satisfied he's fit to return. He said he's obviously raring to go, and from what I've seen on video and the feedback we've received, he's certainly not been holding himself back in training. He was really getting stuck in yesterday. It's a massive boost for Lions to welcome a player of Alun Wyn's stature back. I think it's fantastic, and I really, really hope that just as we're seeing Alun Wyn Jones come back, that we could see Duane Vermeulen back. Could you imagine we see those two going against each other in that final test, for example, wherever it might happen? In theory, it's supposed to be at, I think it's FME Stadium. I think the first one's at Les Park and then FME Stadium, or the other way around. But either way, it's supposed to be in Johannesburg. Yeah, I think that's really, really cool, actually. And I think that, whilst they've got very good depth at lock, in that Ian Henderson's playing well, Mario Tozu's playing well, you could put in Tate Byrne in there. I thought Adam Beer's been pretty decent when he's come on. I think that, Alun Wyn Jones, just if you want someone to go out and you know exactly what you're going to get from somebody, it's a bit like Duane Vermeulen. What makes them so good is that, they're not necessarily always the best player on the pitch. They're usually quite up there, to be honest. But you know exactly what you're going to get from them. It's basically, it's never roll the dice. When you play, a young player, when you play somebody like, I don't know, maybe a Sam Simmons for the British and Irish Lions, when you play you take a risk and maybe you start Jasper Wiese next weekend, or you play Kwagga Smith. There's a little bit of risk. Will it come off? Is it a good decision? Is it not a good decision? What are we going to get from them? But when you play someone like Alun Wyn Jones, you know exactly what you get. You get a very reliable line-out jumper. You get a very, very good tackler. You get somebody who's always willing to carry the ball. He'll hit the racks. He'll do the dirty yards. And he's a very tough player. That's why it was so sort of strange. And that's why people knew it was serious when he went off, because he's a player that does not go down easily. You have to be built really, really well. You have to be incredibly tough if you go on to make, I think he's near around 150 international caps. 150 test caps. You have to be built different. There's the whole sort of that trend, I'm built different. Well, he is built different. That's why he's managed to play for so long. Longevity, especially in the pack, where you have to sort of, you have to take a lot of contact all the time and stuff like that. Look, you don't have to worry about too much about losing your pace and stuff like that, but he's just got such a good engine on him, doesn't he? He's a fantastic player, fantastic individual, and he makes this tour better at the end of the day. And I think when we're seeing this tour, and there's so much negativity around this tour, there's so much debate about whether this tour should be going ahead, whether it's worth it, whether it's a good tour, whether we're happy, is it a fast, stuff like that. I think that we need more good news stories. And, Alun Wyn Jones coming back is a good news story. It's the fact that somebody of his age can have an injury of that sort of nature. I mean, it's dislocated shoulder. It's not like the man just, tweaked a hamstring a little bit, or, was concussed when you have to take that 14 thing. He's 35 years old, turns 36 in September. And dislocated the shoulder, and yet 18 days later, he's like, I'm ready, I'll come back. And funny enough, it sounded like age actually played on the side, where they said that they could accelerate his recovery because of his age. Because if he's a younger player, they wouldn't necessarily do it because they obviously had to cut some corners, which would be detrimental to a younger player's career because it should shorten their career. But when you've played, for 15 years at the top level, I mean, he made his Wales debut back in 2006. It's his fourth British and Irish Lions tour: 2009, 2013, 2017, 2021. He's played nine. He's made nine appearances for the Lions Test side. So it's really cool, I think, to have him back. He's got 148 caps for Wales. I mean, he's almost got 150 caps for Wales. I mean, that's unbelievable. He'll get there at the end of the year series, and he'll play the Six Nations there. So I mean, he's going to end off with almost 160 Test caps potentially, if he stops next year. And why? At this stage, will he stop next year? I mean, there are stranger things than thinking that you might see Alun Wyn Jones at the 2023 World Cup, because he finishes next year and he'll be thinking, well, what's another year? Why can't I go to the World Cup at 38, 39 years old? We'll have to wait and see. But fact of the matter is, we'll be joining the side. I think it's a nice. Touch. It's very good to see. I'm really, really hoping we can see a similar thing with Dwayne Vermeulen. We probably won't see him against the Stormers on Saturday. I'd imagine it's too soon. Maybe on the bench. But the fact that he's coming in so late means that I think he's going to be involved in the test. And whether he becomes a test starter, I don't know. He'll probably come off the bench in the first test. But I think his leadership is invaluable to Warren Gatland. He's somebody that's been there. He won't panic. He'll understand every single situation. He's toured. He was part of the 2009 series defeat. So Morné Steyn starting tonight, playing again. If Frans Steyn plays, he played in 2009. Now Alun Wyn Jones could be playing for the Lions from the 2009 series. So very, very excited to see him play. Let's hope he gets down and all sorted. And I hope he just sort of stays fit, because I think he's obviously worked incredibly hard to get back. So it'll be horrible if he then comes down here and gets another injury. But we'll wait and see. Please do smash like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be live tonight. Get excited, get keen, come hang out, get your beer sorted if you can. Wherever you are in the world, and come and hang out. We'll be live 7:30 South African Standard Time, which will be 6:30, I believe, in Britain. But come hang out and watch during the game. We'll have all the post-match press conferences as well, and we're doing our player rating show at 10 o'clock British Standard Time, 11 o'clock South African Standard Time. The link will be in the description in the watch along, so make sure you come and join us there. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen, and I'll chat to you guys soon.